You're watching Hegarai TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Hi, I'm Claudia Denelle and welcome to That's Tasty. I hope you had a great summer. It was hot, it was dry, but it was a beautiful summer. Now we're into fall and we'll see what the future holds for us. But anyway, today I'm going to show you how to make I knew I was going to say that, chicken parmesan. The same technique is going to be used also for eggplant, but I will show you how to do that at another time. There are many recipes for the same meal, and I always like to put my own slant in it. So what I'm going to show you today is a typical eggplant parmesan, but I'm going to fold it over and stuff it with some cheese just to give it a little bit more oozy deliciousness. So before we get started, I'm going to put on my gloves because we're dealing with chicken, and if you haven't heard me sing carefulness on poultry products, I'm going to start over again with it because raw poultry, meat and fish in general are a dangerous thing to have in your kitchen if it's not cleaned properly. Same with your hands. So when it comes to chicken, I get really picky about cleanliness. So I'm going to put my gloves on because if I wash my hands the way I usually do, I'll have to turn my back to you, and I don't want to do that. But take a look at this chicken breast. This is a huge chicken breast. I weighed it. It's about a pound. Now, nobody is going to eat a pound of chicken at the first sitting. Well, I doubt that the average person will. So I'm going to show you how you butterfly it. It's a boneless, skinless chicken breast. You can buy it with the bone on and take care of it yourself, but I didn't. So I have my trusty knife. This is a 6-inch utility knife. You do not have to spend a lot of money on a knife, but what you do have to do is you really need to take care of it. So before every use, you want to sharpen it. If you have a steel, this is called a knife steel, at a 20-degree angle, you swipe back and forth. I'm not doing it because I just did it, and what it literally does is the very, very edge of the blade is really, really a thin swipe of metal. So when you do this, it will take and curl the metal ever so slightly. So that's why you do it on both sides, so that teeny little curl gets straightened out. But when you're using a steel, little pieces of metal will form and you want to wash it off. So that's another reason why I'm not doing it. I just did it. So I'm going to take this Jagunda chicken breast and I'm going to cut it in half because that's about 8 ounces, which is still a lot, but it's much better. We're going to butterfly it. I'm going to do this one first. Butterflying means that you're literally going to slice it down the middle, but you're not going to go all the way through. You're going to make what it looks like a butterfly. See the little wings? And then once that's done, we're going to pound it out. So this is how you can take some of your frustration out. We're going to put it here, and we're going to put this one here. This is saran wrap or plastic wrap. Actually, I don't even use saran wrap, but that's what you want to use. And you want to give it some room because you'll see as I pound this out, that piece of meat is actually going to spread out. So this is a meat flattener. This part here is to tenderize meat. If you have something that you think is going to be of particular toughness, you're going to pound it with this. I'm going to use the flat side. Now, one other thing, don't go out and buy one if you don't have one. You can use a rolling pin. It'll perform the same function. Or you can use the bottom of a pan. All you need is a good solid flat surface to pound out the meat. So don't go buy anything, you don't need to. So we're just going to gently pound this out. The purpose of pounding out the chicken breast is to make everything about the same depth and size, because you want everything about the same size so it cooks the same. Did you notice how that was flattening out? Now we're going to do this one. Watch out for your fingers, because that won't be fun if you hit. You don't want to apply a whole lot of pressure, because what's going to happen if you put too much pressure on it, it'll go right through the meat and you'll get a big hole. And you're trying to avoid the big hole. I had an affair. I made food for last Christmas, and the gentleman, the host, wanted veal cutlets, and for 60 people. Well, I spent a whole lot of time cutting, butterflying, and pounding out the veal cutlets. But let me tell you something, it's well worth it. The effort is well worth it. So now I have my chicken breast nice and flat, pounded out. I'm going to open it up so you can see. It probably doubled in size as to what it really was, what it was initially. So our chicken is ready now. Now we're going to have the flouring station, or the breading station. I have just plain flour. I have an egg, that I put all over my counter. I forgot one thing, sorry. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more of water. And we're going to scramble up the egg. When I was a little girl, you know, anytime my mother was in the kitchen or my grandmother's, I was right there with my nose pressed up against them, watching everything they did. And when my mother would scramble an egg, I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. The first time she ever let me scramble my own eggs, wow, I thought I was golden. All right, so this is egg, this is plain flour. Here I'm using panko crumbs, and in my panko crumbs, I put Romano cheese, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, some salt and pepper. And the reason why I emphasized the word powder on garlic and the onion is because if you use the pure item, you're not going to get anything additional. If you use garlic salt, there's salt included in it. Same with garlic powder. So here again, you control how much sodium you put in there. And you have to understand there's Romano cheese in here. That's pretty salty too. So you don't want to over-salt. In any case, you don't want to over-salt. You can always add more salt. If you want, you can put in dried basil or oregano. It depends upon you. Do you like that flavor? If you like the flavor, go for it. If you don't like the flavor, by all means, leave it out. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick this up. We're going to dip it lightly in the flour. Then we're going to put it in the egg wash. Shake off the excess, and now you're going to put it back, put it in the breadcrumbs. Nice. You know what, while we're doing this, I'm going to go right over to the stove for 1 minute. I want to turn the pan on and start getting that warm. Okay, coming back over here, we have this last one. Look at how big they are, huh? I'm telling you, these are huge chicken breasts. And they taste good too. Egg wash, a little bit of the breadcrumbs panko. I used panko for breading because what it does is it gives it a nice crispy edge. When I'm using stuffing, when I'm making stuffing, I don't use panko. I use fresh bread, Italian bread, American bread, but it's not fresh right out of the bakery. It's day old, so that when you grate it, it is easier to grate. Okay, so now my hands are clean. We're going to go over to the stove because we're going to start getting these nice and golden brown. So this is hot, getting hot. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon or two, probably 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I did make up some marinara sauce this morning. I'm not going to show you how I make that, but there will be the recipe on this video, so you'll be able to figure out how to make it. And again, with marinara sauce, it's basic. Everything I'm showing you right now is basic breading, basic marinara sauce. And then you can, whoops, that was what I was trying to avoid, but that's okay. That's actually going to make the folding over a little bit easier. So we're going to put this in here, nice, bubbly. I'm going to take this one too, do the same thing. We're going to let them get nice and brown, golden brown. I'm going to take paper towel because you do want to blot off the excess olive oil as it's cooking. So chicken breasts, there's a couple of things you want to keep in mind when you're making chicken breasts. Number one, breasts have a tendency to dry out if they're overcooked. So you don't want to overcook them. That wouldn't be a good thing. The other thing is you don't want to undercook it either, because if you undercook it, well, then you're going to have those salmonella and that sort of thing that I cautioned you about earlier in the video when I wore my hands. You don't want salmonella. It's just not a good thing for you to have. It makes you very sick. And then it can lead into other more disastrous things. So we avoid it. Let's check and see how we're doing here. Okay, it's a little bit golden, just a little bit more, I think. So it's quick, it's very quick, because it's going to be partially cooked as you're doing that, and then you'll finish it off in the oven. Look at that, huh? Isn't that beautiful? Oops. There, perfect. Ouch. Hot too, hot. So now I'm going to shut it off. And I'm going to let the residual heat finish making that golden. And I'm not as fussy on the inside part because it's going to be folded over as I am on the outside part. This is a perfect color for your chicken parmesan. So we're going to let them drain for a minute. You don't want a lot of oil because it doesn't taste good, doesn't look good, and it's not necessary. I have some water here. I'm going to start getting that water ready for boiling because I'm Italian. If we have Italian food, I have to have pasta. You don't have to have pasta, but I have to have pasta. So I'm going to start boiling the water so we can make some pasta to go along with this delicious meal. So here we have our beautiful product. And I'm going to put it in a baking pan, roasting pan. Pardon me, one other thing. I always spray my pans, always. It makes cleaning up a whole lot easier. You don't have to use extra oil. So it's a little bit cleaner way to cook and a little bit healthier. So this one here broke, so we're just going to put one side down. This is a combination of mozzarella and provolone cheese. So I'm just going to put some in the middle, like that. I'm going to put this little guy right on top because it broke. I'm going to put this like that. See, it's still raw in the middle, which is fine because you have to cook it. We're going to put that like that. I'm going to go back over here because we have to put a little bit of marinara sauce on. So here's my marinara sauce. And I want to show you something else. So we're going to put some of this, and we're going to put some of this, okay? And we'll top it off with a little bit more cheese, because as far as I'm concerned, you can never have too much cheese. I like it, especially when it's all stretchy and delicious. And then we'll put it in the oven. I'm going to tell you 400 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. I want it on a high oven because that way it maintains how crispy it is. I gotta get a pot holder. And it will cook more quickly. So here's one that I did for the show, prior to the show, because contrary to what they say, there is no magic in television. You have to make it. And I'm going to put this in, again, 400-degree oven for about 20 or 25 minutes. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. But you can see everything's nicely melted and delicious. Let's talk about the marinara sauce. I want to show you this. This is my little deliciousness. This is a coffee filter, and I use a coffee filter. I put my herbs in there. In here is a big, huge garlic clove, some rosemary, fresh rosemary, and fresh basil. And I use a coffee filter because A, they're cheap. They're probably less than a penny per filter. And when you make coffee, the water comes in and it goes through the grounds, and the filter keeps the grinds where it's supposed to be, and the water goes through it and makes coffee. So the same principle applies when you're using this for herbs. Let's take a look at it. Nice little package here. I'll show you. And one of the reasons why I do that is so that the flavor of the herbs permeate your sauce, but the herbs are not visible. So here they are. See? Basil, rosemary, delicious, garlic. Told you it was big. Didn't I tell you I used a big garlic clove? So I did that. I started doing that because we have fussy people in the house, and they like the flavor of things, but they don't want to see a piece of rosemary floating around, or basil leaf, or even a little piece of basil. So I keep it like that so that all the flavor comes out, and it's delicious and wonderful, but nobody sees what was in there. That way I can use rosemary, which my sons insist they don't like, but they do. They just don't want to see the herb because it looks like a pine tree. This is from my garden from the summer. My basil, and here's the rosemary right here. I'm keeping it in just water, like a hydro plant, or what is it, hydroculture. You just grow things in water, and you see the wonderful root system that's growing. So I'm hoping that I can keep this going until next season, next growing season, and have my fresh herbs. But the thing, and that's just my thing, you can buy fresh herbs in the supermarkets all the time. But I kind of like the idea that these are mine that I grew during the summer, and I'm still going to use them during the winter months. So that's what I have on the on my counter. So that was a marinara sauce. This is a basic marinara sauce. Just a little olive oil. I use a can of tomato puree. Throw that in, bring it up to a boil, let it simmer. Put a little bit of white wine or a little bit of red wine. Throw in your herb package and let it simmer for as long as you can. So let's turn this up so we get it boiling. Have a little bit of pasta. And So, a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. I have a new website, as we're speaking, being developed. It's almost ready for launch. I'm so excited about it because on my new website, you will be able to have all the videos will be on there. So the recipes will be there, the videos will be there, so you can see how things were done. And I'm so excited, and I'm thinking sometime the first week of October that will be up and running. So I'm excited about the videos, and it's also on YouTube. All my videos are on YouTube as well, if you want to go there. But unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's Cooking with Claudia or That's Tasty. I'm not sure what my channel is. So hold off and just go to that'stasty.net, and the new website will bring you under cooking lessons, I believe. You'll be able to find the videos on that new website. It will also, it's just, I'm so excited about it because it's new. The menus are there, cooking lessons are there, my videos are there, it's all good. I also wanted to tell you, I do cooking lessons, and a friend of ours got in touch with us last May, and she said, you know, can you give my daughter a cooking lesson because she doesn't cook too well. So I said, yeah, bring Katie, that's her daughter, and bring Anne Boleyn, who is the granddaughter. Now the granddaughter turned 8 on August 30th, which is the same birthday as my oldest son, Ian. He turned 25. But little Anne Boleyn, my friend Anne said to her, what do you want for your birthday from Grandpa and Grandma? She said, I want a cooking lesson with Claudia. Can you believe that? An 8-year-old. I'm so I'm so humbled by that, and I'm thrilled because the kids don't have cooking lessons anymore in school. So you have all these poor kids that don't know how to cook, and when they leave mom, who may or may not know how to cook, you know, the society is, we're ruining our children. It's about a handful here of fettuccine. I'm going to throw it in the boiling water, which I just salted. And again, you want to salt your water after it comes to a boil. The salt will instantly melt what you want, and it will not cause any damage to the bottom of your pan. A lot of times you throw in cold water, you throw in a handful of salt, and you say it's a done deal. And it's not. So I just have to, I'm sorry, get my pot holders. I thought I was all set. One other thing, I'm sorry. Here we go. So anyway, little Anne Boleyn is coming pretty soon for her cooking lesson, and she wants to learn how to make meatballs and sauce. And I thought, wow, this 8-year-old wants to learn how to make meatballs? Awesome. And I'm thinking, you know what? I was younger than that when my mother taught me how to make meatballs. So this is perfect for her, and I'm very excited about it. We're also going to make homemade pasta. How much fun for a little girl to stick her fingers in a bunch of flour and eggs and water and make dough out of it. So we have our pasta cooking. The marinara sauce is already pre-cooked, but I'm going to suggest you start your marinara sauce first. Let it simmer while you're getting your chicken cutlets and the breading and the browning all together. So that can cook while you're doing all that, and then you can just throw it on and put it in the oven. The other thing I want to talk to you about too is this is chicken parmesan. You can use the same process for veal. You can also, if you want, make pork cutlets this way. So it's really a very simple modification. And if you've got your basic ingredients you want to add to it, go for it. Don't be afraid. The only thing I can tell you is make sure you understand the flavor of what you're putting in. Will basil taste good with this? Yep. Will cinnamon taste good with this? No. So you have to understand what the flavors are, what they taste like, and then go from there. Utilize your own personal likes and wants. So I think our pasta is done. Pardon me. I'm going to dump it. Pardon my back. Turn off the stove and get my plate. Pardon my back. Here we go. Time to eat. A little bit of pasta. A little bit of sauce. Delish. And a piece of chicken. So remember, go to my website. That's tasty.net. Look at that. Oh my. Oops. Of course I just destroyed it, but that's all right. You're going to cut it up anyway. So let's taste it. Delish. I am so good. You know what this is? Let's say it. That's tasty! Woo! Awesome. So that's it for today. Go to my website, that's tasty.claudia. If you go to cookingwithclaudia.com, it'll bring you right to that'stasty.net. So we have two ways of getting to my website. That's tasty.net, cookingwithclaudia.com. That'll all tell you and bring you to the videos, so you'll be good to go. However, I love hearing from you. If you have comments, questions, you have a suggestion for something that I can show you how to cook, I'm happy to take them. That's Claudia at that'stasty.net. So until next time, bon appetito. Happy cooking, happy eating.